What is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some more Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth gameplay for you. And today I'm going to be talking about something that really is getting on my nerves of a late. It kind of hit a little bit of a, I guess, straw that broke the camel's back situation for me personally. Because it's something I've heard for a while, and I do not understand this narrative because it's so misinformed and so ingenuous and just so blatantly wrong and a lie. But basically, there was a article written about how Barret, while they are a character that this writer loves, they're tired of them being only a black character that's basically there for comic relief. Basically saying that they're just there for comic relief and that's their whole purpose. This is so infuriating for me personally because if you don't already know, from the OG Final Fantasy 7, Barret is actually my favorite character from the game. And in both Remake and Rebirth, he's definitely on the top. I don't know who would be my favorite character, but I guess I'm going to wait till the last one comes out till I make that judgment. But he's definitely one of the top characters nonetheless. But Barret has always been a character I've always loved from Final Fantasy period. And the fact that he's, only for comic relief is so disingenuous and just so wrong. So I kind of just want to talk about why I personally love Barret, what makes Barret such a fascinating, interesting character for me, and why this whole notion is so wrong, and the irony of this notion, and how it's just so hypocritical when it involves other characters. So without further ado, let's get into this. I think one of the things I really love and respect about Barret is his ability to endure just about any hardship, mentally or physically, for the greater good, whether it's for his teammates or even for himself. But here is a situation where he returns back to his hometown, and he's basically not given a hero's welcome in any sense of the matter. He's basically being forced to relive the ghost of his past. Obviously, he feels responsible for what Shinra did to the village, and it's not really his fault. I mean, how was he supposed to know what was going to happen at that point in time? But he still feels responsible, and he's bearing that responsibility. It goes back to when he said to the Avalanche team, "I'm here for your burdens and all your hardships and your responsibilities, the load, I'm willing to take the load off your hands." And that's something I've always liked about Barret. He's definitely that guy that's got that, I guess, dad mentality. He's willing to take all the hardships, all the blows and chinks to the armor for the rest of his team. And that's something I really appreciate about him. And even though we're all in Yuffie's situation here where we want him to say something and do something for himself, I respect the fact that he's got that quiet strength. And yeah, he's not this person that ultimately is what everyone tries to illustrate him as, this typical black stereotype. He's so much more than that. He's got a really deep and enduring storyline. His thing with Dyne, as well as the daughter Marlene, is really powerful on so many levels. And for those to say that, he's just there for comic relief, is really insulting for me. As I said before, I'll go on to say this right now about Barret, and I honestly mean it. I think inadvertently and secretly, he is the heart and soul of Final Fantasy VII in a way. I mean, he, to me, is one of the most realist, relatable, understandable, and just loving characters of the entirety of the game. I mean, I'll be honest with you right now, we can make fun of him all we want in terms of his funny and goofy moments, and he does have it. But I'll tell you one thing right now, he's kind of the man everyone wishes their dads or fathers would be like, because he is that type of individual, and he's someone I have the utmost respect for. But as I said before, apparently having any type of humor is a bad thing, because that's all he is to some people comic relief. And yes, he does have comic relief, and some of these moments are fun and entertaining and understandable, and also kind of goofy in a way. But my question is that, are we going to blame him for having a few funny moments? Because at the end of the day, he's not the only character that has funny, endearing, goofy moments. This is where I don't understand the whole argument. Because if you want to blame Barret for having comic relief, then where's the arguments about all the other characters that have so many comic relief moments, like Yuffie or Cloud inadvertently, or just about anyone? Like, just about all the characters have funny, weird, entertaining, comic relief moments. I mean, it's not exclusive just to Barret. Like, I may understand it if he's the only character that did weird, unusual things at times, or is, like, really out there and outgoing, loud, and stuff like this. But seriously, like, just about every character has moments like this, and they do it in different ways. As I said, Yuffie is probably, of all the characters, the one that's the most over-energetic, always going on and about, and I love her for it, because I'll be honest, of all the characters I've played in remake and Rebirth, I think Yuffie's the one that's risen up my character likeness the most of anyone. But why is Barret the only one being attacked and brought up about this and basically being ridiculed for it? Why? Because he's the black character? That just it just basically what it screams to me personally is someone who has never played the original one or played any of them, just sees everything at face value and is just trying to find something to get outraged and mad at because it's so criminally stupid and wrong on so many levels. As I said before, I love Barret Wallace to death. He is definitely one of the most endearing characters that I feel like inadvertently kind of kept the team together in a lot of their worst moments. And to see people only bring this up just because, oh, he happens to be a black person. I mean, if he was a white person, he did the same exact thing, would we be talking about he's only there for comic relief? No, people would be talking about how he's one of the most interesting and cool characters. I never really think that Barret to this day doesn't get the respect he deserves, but hopefully the actual fans will step up and give Barret some respect, because I love a lot of the moments that we see in Rebirth with the cycle, especially the one where he's basically just talking about being a dad to Marlene and how scared and terrified he is of the prospect of her growing up and leaving the home. Something that is so easily relatable, and that's the thing I love about Barret. He's so relatable. He's so interesting but relatable. You can understand him. You can easily get where he's coming from. And even though we're in this Final Fantasy-esque world, these are issues that we see ourselves involved with in our everyday to-day lives. You know, simple things here. As I said, this whole issue with him being a dad really hits hard, and I can understand where he's coming from. And this is just a simple side quest. That's why I've really enjoyed a lot of his stuff, not just for his main story elements with him and his best friend and Marlene, but just simple things that kind of involve him. And that's one thing I really like in terms of what Rebirth did, in terms of enhance a lot of these characters that go beyond that. But in terms of just Barret at his character, his heart, I've always said this about him, and it's the best way I can describe Barret to someone who's never played Final Fantasy VII. He's got this mean exterior where he looks like he has like a grizzly bear exterior, but inside, he's like a cute, cuddly teddy bear. He is a teddy bear at heart. He is that person that every person probably wishes their dads were like. He's that person everyone wishes is on their team, because he's basically the foundation. He's like a rock. He is unmoving, and if he's your foundation, you know that house is going to stand still for a long time, because that's the type of support you really need. It's what I really love about him. It's why I've always resonated with him more than any of the other characters in Final Fantasy VII. Even if he's not the most important for the story-wise, he's that guy that I can definitely get behind, understand for a lot of things that I go through in my everyday life and stuff like that. So for them to say that Barret is just there to be a joke is so dead wrong. Everyone needs a Barret in their life, but that is my opinion. I like to hear your guys' opinion. Are you sick and tired of seeing how all these game journalists are always trying to cite Barret, saying he's just only there for comic relief just because he has comedic elements to him? You know, other characters clearly do as well, but let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about Barret as a character for the entirety of Final Fantasy VII. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thanks, and I'll see you all later. Peace.